Hey guys, I wanted to give you a bit of information on some of the things that I do to help with nutrition, because losing weight and getting healthy and having a healthy lifestyle is not only about working out. It's sometimes, and most of the time, dealing with your nutrition, what you put into your body. And so I eat various foods because I didn't want to cut out all carbs and all of one thing, because I've heard and I've learned that type of eating, it tends to come back on faster if you partake in those foods after you stop maintaining your healthy ways. So I decided to basically eat whatever I wanted, but within moderation and portion control. I purchased portion cups that were in 1 cup sizes, 1/4 cup size, in order for me to monitor and control the amount of foods that I eat. So I do still take in carbs, I do still take in starches, I take in more vegetables than before, and I do take in protein. But I just make sure that I have a balance and make sure that I try to take in more of the vegetables and protein and fruits than I do of some of the fattier foods. First, wanted to let you guys know that I do use a program called MyFitnessPal. And MyFitnessPal is a app that allows you to log and put in the various foods that you eat, the water that you drink, the exercises that you complete, as well as to put in your goals that you have. Once you put in your goals, it develops a routine kind of for you, where it tells you what amount of calories per day, the amount of carbs, the amount of fat, the amount of sodium that would be beneficial for you to reach that goal in a certain time period. And it usually gives you within this time period of 5-week intervals, and it will let you know where you would be daily if you were to eat this meal every single day. So I really appreciate the app MyFitnessPal because it allows me to monitor what I'm putting into my body, and then it helps me make better decisions, because if I realize that I'm taking in too much fat or I didn't have enough protein, it will let me know, and then I can monitor and adjust what I've eaten for the day. Also, I put in my weight into the system, and it allows me to see where I started and the progress that has been made, and it tells you the time period. It also allows you to put in pictures. My goal is to get to 150, and I don't necessarily have a time period. I just would like to get there, and I would like to feel good about it, and I would like to feel healthy. I weigh my food. So this is a scale from Ozeri. It's spelled Ozeri. And this scale allows you to measure in various measurements. So you can do ounces, grams, and pounds. So I make sure that I weigh my food so that I'm getting the correct amount of the serving when I put it into MyFitnessPal. So now I'm just going to show you some of the foods that I've made and some of the ingredients that go into the foods that I've made. I have the Palm olive oil spray. I do need something to put moisture into the pot so that the food doesn't stick. So the Palm olive oil spray is very good. It does not have any calories, so I use as much as I need if I'm cooking my protein. And this particular meal here is a turkey sausage, lean turkey sausage with red onions, and I only sprayed it with the Palm olive oil and sauteed it for about 20 minutes or until I got it to the brownish color that I like my ground turkey to be. And That meal right there was 220 calories. And here is my good old seafood. I love having shrimp and crab legs. Shrimp and crab legs are very low in calories, very low in fat. It's high in its protein for you. The one thing is, I know we're used to eating our seafood drizzled and drenched in butter, but in order for you to maintain lower calories and continue to lose weight in your journey, you can't use as much butter if you're not doing a low carb type of lifestyle. Like I said previously, I am trying to cut out any of these quick fixes. With my seafood, I boil it. I just put some water in a pot, I boil it, and I add my Old Bay seasoning, and it comes out just as good as if it had butter on it. This next meal is a honey glazed salmon with Asian mixed vegetables. And with that one, it has the green peas, which is my favorite. It was a frozen package, and I just put it on the stove and sauteed it. Again, I used the Palm olive oil spray, which didn't require any calories. And I used that to kind of saute the vegetables. The salmon was baked in the oven. This is another Asian inspired dish. It was a honey glazed shrimp with sauteed cabbage. Very simple. For the cabbage, I just use salt and pepper, and I let it sit in a pot, and I cover the pot, and I put a very slight bit of amount of water, maybe about a half a cup of water in the pot, and put the salt and pepper, and I cover it with the lid, and I leave it to boil, and I just go back every few minutes to just, saute it and move it around to make sure that it's not getting stuck to the bottom of the pot. For breakfast, you can kind of leave it light. Sometimes, if I'm gonna do a carb, even though I'm not cutting out my carbs, I'm gonna reduce the amount that I'm gonna take in. So if I'm gonna eat a bagel, I'm not gonna eat the entire bagel. I'm going to do half a bagel, and of course I'm going to weigh it to make sure that I'm giving myself the correct amount of the serving, because I don't want to shortchange myself on my servings either. I also will do some of the maple sausage and just saute it, and I'll do strawberries, bananas, raspberries, any various fruit. Place the amount of that portion on the scale and put it into my Fitness Pal. As you can see, I love me some salmon, and this particular meal was a lemon and herb crusted salmon with some sauteed sausage, and then again that same Asian mixed vegetable medley. This particular one is my turkey sausage, but it was mixed with potatoes, and I made sure I measured the potatoes before I mixed it in with the meal. So sometimes you have to make your dishes separate so you know exactly how much of that meal you are getting in your particular dish. And then this is the frozen mixed vegetables, where it has peas, corn, and carrots, and I measured that as well for my servings. I try to keep my meals between 300 and 400 per meal, and then I give myself about 100 to 200 for my snack. This is a honey and herb glazed salmon with broccoli. Now the broccoli, again, it's another one that I just put in the pot. I put a little bit of water. This one I maybe put like a fourth of a cup, not as much as the cabbage. And I put salt and pepper, and I cover it with the lid, and I just monitor it. You can boil it for as long as you would like. Depends on how soft you would like your broccoli to be. Now I was showing you how I made one of my favorite island dishes. because I am half Haitian and half Trinidadian, I wanted to make a Trinidadian style curry shrimp. So I got the recipe, and it was very simple. It wasn't too much ingredients, and the majority of the ingredients were spices, so it didn't add a lot of calories to the dish. So that's another dish that I like to make that has lots of flavor, lots of seasoning, but not a lot of calories. I made French toast with this particular breakfast, but I didn't indulge. So you may see a lot here, but that's because we have a big family. Again, I'm a dance fit mom of 5. So there's 5 children, my husband and myself. So 7 people. So I have to make enough food for everyone. In this particular meal, I made sure that I only ate 1 slice of the bread because the bread was 70 calories. But then, I made sure that I did my own egg dip, and I did the cinnamon, which is no calories, and I used honey, and I made sure I measured the honey that I put onto my French toast. And I got me about a cup of the strawberries and half a cup of the banana. And then I got 2 ounces of the turkey sausage to eat with my dish. I'm not too much of a big egg eater, but I did make egg whites with cheddar cheese. This dish is ground turkey with turkey sausage and then mixed with some spinach. It was so delicious. And I don't too much like to have ground beef. So when we wanted to have some type of spaghetti, we tried it with lentils and it was really good. So we made our sauce where it was just tomato sauce and fresh tomatoes that were crushed, the Italian spices, and we placed it over some spaghetti. I believe it was linguine, and it tastes just like we were eating spaghetti and sauce. And this is another version of my turkey sausage and broccoli. I just added cheese. As you can see, I really enjoy my turkey sausage. It's filling, it's healthy, it's light, and it's easy to make and easy to measure. We had some garlic, beef, and cabbage here. And the beef was made in the slow cooker, where I just put the beef inside of the slow cooker. I use beef broth inside of it, and then salt, pepper, garlic, and fresh garlic. And I let it slow cook for hours, and then we ate it in the evening. And then the cabbage is made the same way that I normally make the cabbage. And here's a salad. It's the mixed greens, the spring mixed green, because I like to have the different textures of the greens, not only the iceberg lettuce. And there's cucumber, and I chose not to use dressing because when it comes to salad, a lot of times we get a bunch of our calories from the dressing. So I just use salt, pepper, and olive oil and mixed it up really well. A lot of times when we're eating a salad, most people need the dressing to give it some moisture. So with the olive oil, it kind of gives it that moisture so you don't have to have the dressing. I mixed it all up and it was good to go. This is pork chops. I'm showing you how I made it. I made it in the pot and I just put it on the saute mode. It was salt, pepper, garlic, and Lawry's seasoning salt. I try not to put too much salt, but I do use a lot of the Mrs. Dash products, so that way it doesn't have too much salt, but it has lots of flavor. This particular dish is a shrimp scampi that I made. It did have butter, but I made sure to measure the amount of butter that I was taking in and put it in my Fitness Pal. So sometimes if you're eating foods that are not the healthiest choice, it's okay to do it. We do that sometimes. And like I said, I didn't want to cut everything out because I know I'm going to eat a cookie here and there. And I know I may eat some donuts here and there. But as long as I'm tracking what I'm eating and I know how many calories and I know how much fat and I know how much carb that particular meal is, then it's okay, because then I know I can pull back somewhere else if I have to and if I really want to have that particular item. I really enjoyed having you guys, and I appreciate you tuning in to my YouTube channel, and I hope that you are going to enjoy this journey with me and continue to just come along on this ride. Dance Fit Crew, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.